Okay, so I'm Matt, and today we're gonna go through my weighted Catacomb Cup. Joined by Phil. How are you doing, Phil?
I'm good, Matt. How you about yourself, mate?
Yeah, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Thanks. Now, done quite a few videos now, getting quite into this. And of all the ones I've made, I mean, perhaps with the exception of the Continental's wildcard from Sorceress, this is the one I'm most interested in making because I didn't do great. Like I did okay.
You went positive.
I went positive, just like I went 4-3, but and I've not watched a lot of these games back since doing them. But I seem to remember that I got quite lucky and made a few mistakes and possibly could have ended up like at 2-5 or even 1-6. So I feel like I got very, very lucky. So I'm quite interested in watching him back. Catacomb Cup isn't my favourite meta. I think that's fair to say. But we have to do him, don't we? We have to do him. So my team. Go on.
I found different metas have added to my team building strategy. It's not all straightforward. It's not always the same type of build. So that I've kind of added that feather to my cap. So that's what it's brought to it. But you're right, it's not the greatest.
Yeah, and and it feels to me like I've had such a great season. It feels I'm a little bit down about it. It feels like I've gone out on a bit of a whimper. But
Nessa beat you to 2. Is that the main thing?
Yeah, Nessa's beat me to 2. Yeah, and that hopefully I'll manage to hold on to a top 100 spot. But we'll see. I think I'm not entirely sure it's likely. Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see. Anything could happen yet. So my team was Venusaur, Lapras, Sudowoodo, which I think need no introduction. Venusaur's really, really good. Lapras is really, really good. Sudowoodo is really, really good. There's hundreds of videos out there on YouTube that will tell you why. I don't really need to go into that. Now, I think the interesting points on my team were I went for Beedrill rather than Vespiquen. Now, I actually have a rank 5 Vespiquen, but I chose not to use it.
It's more of a wall to the grasses, isn't it?
Exactly. I found in practice, I'm quite happy with if Vespiquen switches into my Venusaur, I'm quite happy with that because, well, I'm not happy, but it's not a disaster because Venusaur.
As bad as
Yeah, exactly. And Venusaur wins the 0 shields versus Vespiquen, which is just mad.
So you're getting at least a shield out of them if they are going to get switch.
Yeah, exactly. And Venusaur was the thing I used most in Season 1. Like, if you look through my tournament history, you'll see Venusaur popping up all over the place in Season 1 on my trainer card. So I was hoping to use Venusaur a lot here. So I was thinking, well, if I'm fairly happy with the Venusaur Vespiquen matchup, I don't want to be using Vespiquen in that matchup, so my bug can't be Vespiquen. If that makes sense. So I went Beedrill.
I think it offers quite a lot with that drill run potential bait Xer. I'm wishing I'd used it more this month.
Sure. Did you run it in your team and just not use it much, or did you just not run it?
I ran it in practice. I was leaning towards Vespiquen, but then for some weird reason I only chose one bug, because then I could double up on ice as well as doubling up on grass.
Right. Yeah.
And the bug that I went for was Pinsir.
Oh, well, let's move on to Pinsir next. So I liked Pinsir in practice. I was seeing a lot of teams that were Lapras, Sudowoodo, Umbreon, Venusaur, Alolan Graveler, or that sort of thing, and shields down. Pinsir's going to destroy a lot of that. However, I don't think it fits well on this team because with Beedrill being my sort of main bug, Vespiquen is quite an easy bring, because essentially I have nothing that wants to beat bugs and grasses, and that's what Vespiquen's good for, I guess. Taking on the other bugs and grasses.
Yeah, either Vespiquen or Jumpluff.
Yes, yeah, and both of those things give Pinsir a hard time, and that sort of thing is quite an easy bring versus my team because of Venusaur, Beedrill, Pinsir. So it doesn't fit great on my team in retrospect. I mean, don't get me wrong, I used it and I got some really good play out of it, as we'll see. But it perhaps turned out to be a bit more high risk than I'd initially anticipated.
I found.
Go on.
I did. I found the popularity of Frostlass quite harsh against Pinsir as well. Yeah. That close combat against an ice type, but of course being a ghost. No.
I mean, see, I like the double bug. I like the double bug line, right? And if you can use Beedrill to sort of draw out the Frostlass, if you get a 2 or 3 poison job lead with Beedrill, you'll beat Frostlass in the zeros, so you'll get a shield out of it and nothing else. And then the Frostlass is gone, so Pinsir can do work in the back. So I think I do use double bug a couple of times throughout this run. But then at that point, most of the time, what Pinsir's left to do could be done by Venusaur anyway. Now, in practice, I ran a Venusaur Ivysaur double team at one time, and I actually think I probably would have been better with that, to be honest, because Venusaur and Pinsir have similar matchups with most things in the meta, but Venusaur isn't walled as hard by Jumpluff or Frostlass or Vespiquen, so having almost a second Venusaur perhaps would have been more useful. I don't know what you think.
No, I agree. I think the reason why I went to grass, my Jumpluff plus a Razor Leafer, was because Venusaur wasn't cutting it as much against Lapras as it should do. I might be giving away my strategies, but it's near the end of the month. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't mind having Lapras against Venusaur.
No.
If I have to double shield, I'll double shield. But some people are finding a way of playing through that now.
Yeah. You can come out with that. You can come out of that matchup with a lot of energy if you're the Lapras.
If you're the Lapras, yeah.
Yeah. So double shielding. Yeah, you'll double shield to their one shield most likely. But if you come out with back-to-back surfs, you're probably going to get that back. So. Yeah.
Unless they've got a Caricosta or something.
Yeah. And then the last pick is the pick that's most excited me this month and has definitely been my MVP, and that's Rhyperior. It's not there as some sort of spice. It's there because it's good.
It's got a job to do.
Yeah. Rock type damage in this cup is really, really good. And that's why Alolan Graveler is really good, because it can spam those Rock Blasts really hard. Yeah.
I mean, the Stone Edge doesn't take that long either.
No, it's one Volt Switch more most of the time. And running Double Bug and Lapras. And Venusaur and Sudowoodo don't want to take Stone Edges. I'm quite susceptible to Alolan Graveler. So I was thinking, right, ground types absolutely wall Alolan Graveler. And are good against the other rock type attackers, things like Caricosta, Magcargo. I was expecting to see a few Tyrannotars this month, to be honest. It looked like something I was going to use initially, but I preferred Rhyperior in the end. So I thought, right, well, let's have a look for a ground type. And Rhyperior really is the standout, because
Piloswine's so squishy.
Yeah, and Piloswine and what's the Wormadam they don't actually resist rock either, because of their subtypings.
Bug, one being bug, one being ice. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought, right, well, you know, if someone brings Graveler against me and they get it locked in against Rhyperior, that is game over. There's no two ways about it. I'll use the shield. I'll completely farm them down with Smackdown, and then I'll throw 2 Rock Wreckers, and you know,
That's game on.
Yeah. And we you know, we saw that in the London live video I did with it a couple of times. It's if you double shield it and go straight Smackdown, you beat Lapras leads, you beat Jumpluff leads, and then can throw 2 Rock Wreckers at the next thing. If you shield versus Frostlass once, you can go Smackdown and throw things at the next thing. Because of superpower, you beat Umbreon and Sudowoodo in the 0 shields. And of course,
it's a big player. It's a big player.
Absolutely. And of course, with Smackdown, Vespiquen and Beedrill do not want to be in against it. So, of like the common meta picks, the only things that it doesn't have play against really are Venusaur and, you know,
Resleafers, yeah.
Yeah, Resleafers. So quite often I found myself in a situation where Rhyperior will beat everything on someone's team except the Venusaur in either the 0 shield or the 2 shield scenario.
So you double bodyguard it with what? You double bug line or?
Yeah, double bug. Occasionally Venusaur plus bug. But to be quite honest, I don't think I used it as much as I should have done in this tournament. Looking back, you know, if I remember rightly. So that's something I'm interested in watching out for. So we'll see about that. So yeah, let's. Oh, just to be clear, it's Smackdown, Rock Wrecker, Superpower, because the only thing.
I like how you're telling me that. I like how you're telling me that.
Well,
because in a video against Jay, I didn't have a Comday one made.
Ah, right.
But it's so important, that Rock Wrecker is so important.
It is.
Does 80% to a Venusaur. It's phenomenal.
Because, you know, Rhyperior, you want to be investing shields into it, and you want to be completely farming things, so you need to be able to hit the next thing. So Rock Wrecker is crucial for that, because you can get 2 of them.
And Surf isn't useful at all, especially when you've got superpower anyway.
Yeah. The only thing Surf's better against is the mirror. Otherwise, you're more or less always better off going for superpower or Rock Wrecker. So, yeah. Well, let's get into it then. The first team I played was Graveler, Sudowoodo, Lapras, Jumpluff, Umbreon, Vespiquen. Jumpluff terrifies me because the only ways I beat it are Lapras in even shields or Rhyperior in 2 shields.
What's the Beedrill matchup like?
With Jumpluff? To be honest, I'm not sure. I just assume it loses. I'm just assuming Beedrill loses to Jumpluff.
I'm sure in 2s, Poison Jab will just take it all the way, even just spamming X scissor.
Yeah, you might be right actually. Not something I'd considered.
I might look into that later.
Fair, yeah, definitely, probably worth knowing actually. To be honest, I didn't really expect to see many Jumpluff, so I didn't look into the Sims a great deal before tournaments, because I just think Venusaur's so good, and I didn't see double grass as being the favourable double up. So I wasn't expecting to see many Jumpluffs at all. So I perhaps underprepared a bit for them. So I'm expecting him to bring Jumpluff. It's really good against me, and then because of that, I'm not expecting to bring Vespiquen, because double fly is really risky. If I bring something like Lapras and Sudowoodo, or Lapras and Rhyperior, and I'm not expecting Agrav either, because Rhyperior. So yeah. What do you reckon?
He might bring Vespiquen because of Venus and your 2 bugs, maybe.
Yeah, sort of Vespiquen or Jumpluff sort of thing. but I have to prepare as if he's going to bring Jumpluff. Otherwise, I will just lose. So yeah, let's get into it. So I lead Lapras trying to catch the Jumpluff immediately. And I just switch out because I need to save that for Jumpluff. I could stay in double shield, but I need to keep it healthy. Vespiquen comes into the Venusaur, as we were talking about before. Quite happy with this because I can win the zero
that's half
shield.
its health gone. That's half its health gone.
Yeah, exactly. And X's don't do a great deal because I'm poison type, so yeah, I'm pretty confident I'll win the zero shield here.
Nice. Oof. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Very confident. Wow.
Yeah.
Cubes.
So yeah, I go into Sudowoodo because I know I have to keep the Lapras alive. I shield this because I want to get more counter damage on it, just so I can try and farm down with Lapras. Interestingly, I don't think I've hit Earthquake all month yet, so yeah, let that one through. I'm hoping I can farm down with Lapras. But
Rock slide now, yeah.
Yeah, it just falls short.
So are you in the mirror now then?
Yes, yeah. So I have to go for the bait because he's got a shield left.
Yeah, smooth. It worked.
Yeah.
But he's going to get to 1 and 2. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not a great start. Sudowoodo just got a bit out of hand against me there. So I'm going to lead Venusaur in the next one to try and stop that. I'll run the same 3, Venusaur, Sudowoodo, Lapras, but I'm going to lead Venusaur just to stop that from potentially happening. And I lose the lead again. Yeah. Yeah. Now, I can't switch Lapras in, otherwise he just switches out and then I lose to Jumpluff later.
So you tried to catch, yeah.
Yeah, so I catch the Aerial Ace, and now I've got a bunch of energy on Venusaur, so that might flip that matchup later. So yeah. And now I've got a slight energy.
This isn't too bad.
Yeah, this is all right here. I'm quite happy with this. Especially knowing he's not got a hard wall to Venusaur, and I've got so much energy on it in the back. I'm able to farm up a little bit more. Don't want to dick about doing too many.
Oh, right, okay. I was going to ask you, did you not want to risk a bit more energy there?
No, I wanted to make sure I kept the shield advantage. I wanted to not, just really, really play safe. Go for the Frenzy Plant. So I'm now at a double shield advantage.
And they've brought Lapras because they're thinking you've got Pseudo in the back.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I'm not going to shield because I know with a double shield advantage, that Sudowoodo versus Jumpluff matchup is safe. Yeah.
2 rock slides, yeah.
So then back into Pseudo and just a straightforward double shield.
See, in that situation where you've got 2 shields and you have to use them, I'd be baiting like hell in that situation.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, he's played legit and gone Energy Ball.
Yeah.
But then it's the mind games, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, his win condition is to land an Energy Ball, so I get it. But
if you're in such a losing situation, you've got to try something.
Yeah. So then game 3, right? He likes Lapras and Sudowoodo. So I make a bold play and lead Pinsir. Trying to catch one of them. Now, the Sims say you should double close combat, but I like X scissoring just before the surf, just to put him under a bit of pressure. So I get the shield, yeah. And he gets a bit greedy and tries to, yeah. So a big mistake from my opponent there. No, he lives. He lives. I was gutted.
Wow.
Yeah.
least you're going to take a shield advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a surf. Jumpluff? Or Vespiquen?
Yeah, Vespiquen. Yeah. So again, I'd save Lapras because just in case he has Jumpluff in the back.
It's going to be Suddo, isn't it?
I think so, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to get as many surfs up as I can.
Yeah, you're going to be able to get to a second there.
Yeah.
And even if you let Lapras go, you can just farm down with Venusaur, right?
Yeah, I think that's what I do. I think I let Lapras go. Yeah. So then I can farm down.
The timing for you was perfect, wasn't it?
Yeah, honestly, very lucky. So I'm able to farm down. So yeah, see here.
Ooh, has Vespiquen got energy?
A little bit, but I don't think an X is a kills from here, and that just allows me to.
Oh, GG win the CMP anyway.
Yeah.
Right,
that little bit of farming just allows me to get to the sludge bomb in time anyway. So it might have looked like
and that's round one.
Yeah, that's round one, and it might have looked like I planned that finish. I didn't. It just happened to fall really nicely. Had I found more Vine Whips in the match versus the Sudowoodo earlier, it would have been less close. But yeah, so not a comfortable start at all. I'm sure you'll agree. Yeah, I remember vividly being sat there, going into the third game, thinking, "What am I going to do here? I just don't know." And then I just thought, well,
Pinsir came clutch.
Yes, yeah, it did, it did, and I think it does well round two as well. So the round two opponent, Venusaur, Sudowoodo, Pinsir, Umbreon, Frostlass, Drapion.
Pinsir looks a little bit more promising. Got to worry about Frostlass.
Yeah.
Ooh, or is it? Well, it's probably going to be an Ice Fang Drapion then, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like Ice Fang Drapion. Now what I'm thinking here immediately is that Lapras looks excellent here.
Yeah, they haven't got a wall at all, have they?
No. And sort of Lapras lends itself nicely to beating Frostlass and Drapion. And Beedrill will do very nicely against the others as well. Like with a couple of poison jabs lead, it'll beat Sudowoodo.
Can still do Sudowoodo, yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm hoping is, if I bring the double bug line with Lapras, I can try and catch Drapion or Frostlass with Lapras in the lead. So I don't think they'll bring Drapion and Frostlass, to be honest. Just because Venusaur and Sudowoodo are so good, and Umbreon. There's too many other good options for him to bring Frostlass and Drapion. So I'm hoping that I can use one of the bugs to lure out the Frostlass or the Drapion, and then clean with the other bug, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, the only way they would bring both is if they make sure they've got Frostlass on your Sudowoodo, which you ain't bringing.
Yeah.
And then get lucky with like a grass type on whatever on your Lapras maybe. So I don't. Do you win this one?
I think so. Let's have a look.
Okay, it looks promising.
It does. But then there's a matchup even later on that looks promising, and I definitely do not win that one. So,
so this is twos.
Well, that's I need to save Lapras for Frostlass or Drapion, so I go straight to Pinsir. And then he brings in the Frostlass. So the strategy's working. I'm luring out one of the counters. In close combat, I'll still do a massive chunk because it's close combat.
Avalanche is going to KO whether you're debuffed or not, so that's a good play.
Yeah. I'm actually really close to getting the other X's in there as well.
Yeah.
So Frostless can't, it can't dick about versus Pinsir. It's got to throw. So I'm able to come in and get a bit of energy. Don't really need to shield the Lapras now because the bug count has gone. So I'm going to put all my faith in Beedrill and hope it can come through.
Especially if Pseudo's out of the way.
Yep. Yep. As long as he's not got Drapion in the back, I'm set here. So obviously I have to shield the Rock Slide.
Those poison jabs are going to do nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll do. That'll do very nicely.
Yeah, so that's Venusaur in the back is Beedrill food.
They still got 2 shields at this point.
No, no. So I let these through because I know I've got to save my other shields for a Rock Slide. But he goes for Frenzy Plant rather than Sludge Bomb, so like Sludge Bomb will do more. And then he goes for another one. And again, I've got to save my shields for Sudowoodo. And again, he goes for Frenzy Plant. So I think, right, I think had he gone for Sludge Bombs, I'd probably have lost this.
Yeah. He probably wouldn't have got a second one, would he?
Possibly, but the fact that, I mean, I had a shield left, so maybe had he gone for Sludge Bombs, I might have blocked one, so I don't know, but yeah.
Maybe he didn't have energy on Pseudo.
Yeah, maybe. So we're in the Pseudo Mirror in the second game. Happy with Venusaur in the back here because he didn't bring the Drapion. And I'm happy to lose the mirror here because it'll let Venusaur farm a bit. And you can see I've got Beedrill in the back there as well. Now this is great. This is great because I've got a shield advantage and an energy advantage, so I'm going to beat Frostless comfortably. And then that's his Beedrill counter gone. So as long as I match his shields, I should be fairly comfortable. And this is like a lot of people like Frostless this month, but I don't. I think it's not a reliable Venusaur counter. I actually prefer Beartic, to be completely honest, just because you can switch it in on Venusaur. Don't get me wrong, I don't think Beartic's great, but yeah, I'm not a fan of Frostless here. So yeah, Beedrill just finishes off. I have a problem with the screen there, but nothing too problematic. So this will put me at 2-0. I'm expecting to see the Drapion this time because Venusaur's giving him a hard time there.
There it is.
Yeah, catch it on the lead. So I'm expecting to see this rather than Frostless, not to get.
Aquatail?
Yeah.
Such a rubbish move.
Yeah. Bit of a brave play not to shield that, actually, given that I've got Beedrill and Venusaur in the back. I've got Lapras in the back, so I don't need to worry about this because any health he has left is just health I can farm with Lapras. So again, not winning shield, going to put all my faith in Beedrill. That feels too early to be a crunch. So.
It's got to be an Aquatail on it, yeah.
And then he makes a top play here. Comes in with the Venusaur.
Oh, is it Sudowoodo? Frostless?
Sudowoodo. Yeah. Now he's really
that
unlucky.
reminds me of something you did in the gym, mate.
It's really unlucky because the defense buff allows me to get to a surf actually, so that's so unlucky. and then Beedrill comes in to beat the Venusaur.
Oh wow! Quit the battle. That's not allowed in Sylph.
Well, I'd be fuming if I was him as well. To be honest, 2 shields down with a Venusaur into a Beedrill, in the third at 2-0. So a really positive start. 2-0, and then it all starts going wrong.
Who are you up against now?
A guy called CHARICHARD. Yeah.
He's been playing well recently.
Yeah, so this was a name that rung a bell, and I think it was one of the Colwyn Bay tournaments last month in Sorceress, where this guy beat Tenacity and Richie Beckett in the same tournament, back to back.
He's an elite slayer. No wonder you lost.
Well, how do you know I lose?
I've got a suspicion by the way that you're chatting.
Yes, you're quite right, and he's not level 4. He's not level 40. I think he's level 37. So he's not even been able to max out his Ivysaur.
Oh yeah.
And he still does the job versus me. Now, Rhyperior looks really good here.
Because of the Graveler.
Because Graveler pins the Vespiquen, Lapras. Yeah, it looks like it'll beat those all if I double shield, and it'll beat Sudowoodo in zeros. So a Rhyperior lead with a Venusaur save switch looks really nice for me here.
So did you bring Beedrill as well for Ivysaur?
Most probably, because Beedrill looks good here as well because of as you say, the Ivysaur plus the Pinsir and the Drill Run for the Graveler and Sudowoodo. So yeah, what do you reckon to this? As a Pinsir Vespiquen Ivysaur team looks it looks if you replace the Ivysaur with the Venusaur, it doesn't look too unusual, and in actual fact, it looks quite similar to mine. What do you reckon?
Yeah. I like the Rhyperior play with the double bodyguard, Venusaur plus Beedrill. What's the only thing that's going to unlock? He's going to get lucky with leads, get Lapras on Beedrill maybe.
Yeah, but if I think I'm right in saying that if Beedrill gets a 2 poison jab lead, it beats Lapras in the zeros, double drill run.
Straight drill run.
Yeah, so even Beedrill looks fairly solid here as a switch. I just don't want Beedrill to get caught against Vespiquen. That would be the nightmare really. So yeah, I'm actually as much as I know this guy's a good player, I'm feeling fairly confident going into it as long as I can keep Rhyperior away from Ivysaur and/or Beedrill away from Vespiquen. I should do okay. Let's have a look. So yeah, Rhyperior, Beedrill, Venusaur first time round.
Is he still choosing his team?
Yep. I'll skip to the start of the battle because that happens. Takes a while. So Rhyperior lead into Lapras.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So he switches straight out into Sudowoodo, so I switch straight into Venusaur. Shield the Rock Slide when I do a bit more farming.
Could you have tanked that?
Probably, but I'm quite happy putting shields into Venusaur because nothing on his team wants to take a hit from it anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, Frenzy Plants into the Lapras to get my shield back.
And another. See, I had to throw on a Surf at that point. Put the shield pressure on.
I think I would have as well. However, he's now got a buttload of energy, and I've got nothing that wants to take a Surf. Yeah, I'm just trying to drain his energy at this point and hope I can get to a superpower, but yeah, just nowhere near. He's got far too much energy.
Could you have swapped to Beedrill and maybe let Beedrill tank it?
Probably, yeah, probably in hindsight. Yeah, that would have been the play. I'm just hoping I can farm as much as I can and hoping he's got Ivysaur in the back. That's my only chance of pulling through here.
It is.
Now this is a misplay. I don't know why I went. I don't know why I went drill run. I need to get spamming damage.
X's?
Yeah. So there we go. 2x. If I'd have gone for X's, I would have got another one. Whether it would have killed, I don't know. But yeah. So the second game, I switch it up to a Venusaur lead with Lapras and Beedrill in the back, and I get a decent lead here.
Yeah, you're gonna get shield lead rather than switch.
Yeah. So yeah, just going for the frenzy plants. And again, we see him going with a big farm down. He's not throwing the surfs. And then, for some reason, I switch. For some reason, I switch.
Now you're going to be locked in against.
I mean, it's not a disaster. I've got a double shield advantage.
Oh, it's a bait.
Yeah.
But you got 2 surfs, so Sudow's gone.
Yep. So I let this go because I know I'm really close to another frenzy plant on the Venusaur.
Surf.
Strange play for me. I don't know why I'm doing this. And then I save my.
Well, now you can hit something. Oh.
I don't know what I'm doing, mate. I don't.
I think you had it and you were trying to save it for anything and either hit Vespiquen with like a Skull Bash or Graveler or Pseudo.
Yeah, it turns out his last is Ivysaur, so I'll be fine because I've got Beedrill in the back. So I mean, I did my best to try and lose this game. But yeah, managed to get away with it. Yeah, just going for the drill run to finish it in 1. Now, the past 2 games have come down to Beedrill versus Ivysaur in the back, right? So I'm thinking he's not going to bring Ivysaur in the back this time. So, I mean, and it's good against my team, so he might bring it in the front. So I'll lead Beedrill this time.
Venusaur? Oh, Beedrill, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll lead Beedrill to try and catch it in the front, and then I have Venusaur and Lapras in the back. So let's see what he does. Now, this game is the most frustrating game I've played this month. So he leads Vespiquen, so that's a horrible lead, right? So, but I don't really want to switch to anything else. So I'm just trying to chip away at it so I can farm it with Lapras and then go into the next thing with energy. I think that's my plan. So again, not going to shield Beedrill. Just hope I can get another X-Scissor. But then I decided to switch. Why have I done that? Like, if I was going to do that switch, I needed to do it at the very beginning.
On the power gem. Yeah, the power gem.
Yeah, or on the power gem. And this has happened a lot to me this month, where for some reason I just changed strategy mid-game, and
I think when we played, you did something bizarre against me as well.
Joe, it wouldn't surprise me. I've done a lot of bizarre things this month. Then I decided I have to shield this, which I probably didn't. And then I get greedy.
Oh, greedy.
Yeah.
And now it's going to take you out with all that energy.
Yeah. Oh, well, it didn't.
Oh!
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you stop tapping.
Yeah.
Watch this be a power gem now. No.
But I mean, he's got, so then he goes into Graveler, which obviously is going to eat Lapras alive. So I burn the shield, then go to Beedrill to land the drill room. But I've just got nothing. I've got nothing left.
That's very nice.
Yeah, but I've got nothing left to take the Lapras on. So it's GG. Now, what's frustrating about that game is apart from the fact that I just played horrifically.
You feel let Beedrill go?
Well, for me, it's more a case of I showed him in game 1 that Rhyperior is there to be used. It's not there as bench pressure. And in the deciding game, he brought Vespiquen,
Gravel,
Alolan Graveler, and Lapras. If I'd have led Rhyperior that game, he just loses. Like, literally, Rhyperior sweeps him. So I was fuming. If in game 1, I sort of identified that the Rhyperior lead with the Venusaur safe swap was probably the best strategy versus him.
And because you lost in game 1, you
Yeah.
thought, oh, that's not the case.
Yeah, I sort of second guessed myself. However, had I gone that strategy in the decider, I mean, what does he do if I lead Rhyperior into Vespiquen? He what, switches into Lapras? Yeah, there's literally no way he wins with that lineup against Rhyperior. So I was fuming. And then I think that put me on tilt a little bit, to be honest. I just got very, very annoyed with myself and started second guessing myself a lot and started losing a lot in the tournaments as well.
I think emotions can definitely play a big part in this. That's what I found when I played poorly after Voyager. It was because I was getting frustrated a lot.
Yeah.
So I think stepping away and coming back afresh, maybe.
Yeah. We're competitive people. I'm one of the most competitive people I know. I think Gillard might be more competitive, but other than Gillard, I'm not sure I know anyone more competitive than me. So yeah, it was annoying, but it's and this is what I mean about this cup. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to read your opponent's team because it's so finely balanced that everything's viable. So I wasn't obviously. There's no way I could have guessed that. There's no way I could have guessed that he was going to bring those 3. I mean, to be fair, I did guess that he wasn't going to end with Ivysaur. So, and in fact, he didn't bring it at all. So, maybe in hindsight,
didn't need Beedrill.
Yeah. If I'd perhaps nailed Mechalus to the mast a bit more, yeah. But as I say, at the time, was second guessing myself and playing a bit funkily as we saw in the previous games. So
you're right. I've just done a bit of analysis. It's definitely not rock paper scissors in the sense of leads.
No.
It's maybe more rock paper scissors in the combination of 3.
Yes. Yeah. There are teams of 3 which your team of 3 cannot beat, and I mean that sounds like a fairly obvious thing to say, but on the back of Sorcerer's Cup, I felt like that wasn't the case. I felt like in Sorcerer's Cup it was always possible to build a team of 3 that you had a chance of winning regardless of what you're
against any. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and this just isn't the case. But it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. Well, let's leave it there for part 1. We'll come back and we'll do part 2 and we'll go through the remaining 4 games. How's that sound?
Yeah, it's good. Hopefully you recover from that annoying loss at the end there.
Well, we'll see. All right, catch you later.
Catch you next one.